the Honda 450RL after almost 1,000 miles. I think I'm on almost 900 miles. I really like it. You do have to get it set up right. Or raising the handlebars a little bit, getting the suspension loosened up a little bit, depending on what you're going to do with it. And then you feel right at home on it. And I really, really like it. It's a bike I'm riding a lot. I know some people don't like it, but I think maybe that's because you do have to just fiddle with it a little bit to get it, set up how you want it. But it comes kind of as a good blank slate. They can do everything. You can take it more towards a dirt bike, or you can take it more towards a light adventure bike. So I like that you can take it either way. I've taken mine towards the, I guess, the dirt bike side of things, but I still enjoy driving it on the highway. It's a good compromise. It's nice on the highway, but the higher gears, the 6-gear overdrive is awesome on the highway. But when I'm on single track, I do feel the weight, like the 40 extra pounds over some comparable dirt bikes, but I can handle that. I don't mind it. For what I'm doing, like I'm riding up today from the garage, riding up to the trails, riding a few trails and riding home. It's a nice middle of the road bike to do that. Now if I run trails all day, I might want something a little lighter, take a different bike, but here's a trail. I mean, I can go up and I'm gonna ride it. Like this is fairly technical routes and stuff, and this bike's doing great. The gearing is close enough. Yeah, it's doing great. Very good bike. I do have to slip the clutch a little bit. I don't want to flame it out. It does flame out easier than, like, let's say a 2-stroke or something, but it's good. And I do feel the weight sometimes if I slow it down. If I slow the bike down, like, that's when you tend to feel weight, I feel like. I don't need heated grips up here. But yeah, it's a good bike. I'm liking it. Trying to think of things I needed to do. This is 2025, and I felt like the fuel mapping was okay. I could have lived with that. I did put a Takomoto map on here with the little map 1 and map 2. Now this is downhill, and holy cow, it's tore up. And that definitely helped. I haven't put a bigger gallon gas tank on here, and I just carry a little extra fuel if I need it. I am running different tires. Some Golden tires are, DOT approved, and they work well up here, but also on the highway. Don't have the longevity of a Tusk D-Sport or something though, so this time of year I might run those. I did revalve the suspension a little bit for trails, just softened them up, but I'm running the same springs. I'm about 190 pounds. I'm running the OEM springs. I mean, and this bike's good. Here's a little stream crossing, a little uphill, and the bike is good. Just feathering the clutch through there. It's a really good bike. But if I rode trails all day, it might start to feel heavy. But for a little rip up here and then out of here, it's great. We're up here at Elk Flats today. Looks like there's a bunch of people. That's awesome. Pros are good power, nice torque, nice on the highway. Cons are maybe a little more weight compared to a dirt bike, maybe 40 pounds more when you're on stuff like this, but it's definitely tolerable. The spike is high, like 37 inches. Doesn't seem to settle as much as like my Husky does when I'm got my weight through it. So at times, if I like try to stop through something like this, it feels super high. but I just try to treat it almost like a bigger bike where you carry enough momentum where you're going for it. You're not going to stop. And if you handle that extra weight that way, like right now, I don't feel it. But if I were to hit an obstacle where it got technical enough where I stalled the bike, or I just couldn't make it up the obstacle, and then I had to get on and off the bike, oh boy, all of a sudden you do feel that. So I'll tend to just ride this where I kind of know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to do anything that is going to get me into those kinds of situations. So height of the bike, talked about tires. I put the golden tires on right away. I haven't done the fuel tank. I did do a Scott steering stabilizer, but I feel like I could have survived without that. That was just something I had, and I was like, you know what, I might as well throw it on. And it feels good with it. Trying to think of anything else. Brakes are great. I love the brakes. Don't need to mess with those at all. The chassis just felt stiff. I did put some of those. Oh man, I'll have to put in the description what they are. Those little engine hanger metal tabs. Those were pretty easy to swap off. I didn't ride the bike by playing with the torque specs. This is just a root garden here, but at least it's not wet today. So I'm gonna carry speed and just bump through here. There you go. That's the way to do that. And that seemed to soften it up the right a little bit, but I did it at the same time as the suspension revalve. So I think most of that was the revalving, but it's hard to know. I like quiet exhaust, so I ran the stock exhaust for quite a while. And then I found a 450X exhaust and header online, so I just ran that. I'm running that now, and it's still quiet and makes good power. If I couldn't have found one used, I wouldn't have bought it because it's just too much expense to buy one new. I think the exhaust alone, I looked it up new, is like $1,200, and that's not even a header, so that's a lot of money for a stock exhaust. It's pretty tore up and uphill, and so yeah, I'm starting to sweat a little, just starting to feel the weight of the bike a little bit. Hey, how we doing, guys? Good. Those are awesome. Thank you. Cool. I like it. Thank you. Have fun. That's cool. There, if there were some pit bikes, or I don't even know. I guess those aren't pit bikes. I don't know what you call those. Like, basically, kind of a Briggs and Stratton engine on a frame. I remember riding stuff like that. It's all fun. That's the cool part. Is it doesn't matter what you're riding. We don't care. We're up here riding. Whew. That's what matters. We're having fun. And these trails are in good shape. Holy cow, tacky. This is where you can get cocky and end up dumping your bike into a tree or something that you start feeling like Superman. Yeah, the bike's feeling good. But yeah, loving this bike. I don't have intentions of getting rid of it. I know a lot of people buy the 450. I don't quite get why they get rid of it. I know some people, they talk about maybe the stiffness or it flames out. I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. I really like it. Is it a beginner's bike? That's a good question. Probably not. I mean, it just has enough of a throttle hit that I love that. Like right there, I can give it a good bump and I'm going. But if you were learning, that could be, a little much. But in a softer map, it's definitely more controllable, but it's still, if I twist that throttle, man, I'm going off to the races. It's definitely a 450. Got 450 blood in it. Man, this is like so torn up, and I gotta keep this bike going. Yeah, the weight of this bike, it likes to, I'm better off, I use less energy if I just keep it moving. Yeah, so I wouldn't call it a beginner's bike. It's kind of high. I mean, sometimes even I'm intimidated by the height of it. It's like, whoa, I get off and I forget how high it is. So that is kind of a con. But once you get comfortable with riding, you're riding and you're not getting on and off it, you really don't care. But sometimes when I'm in town, I'm paving, I'll go to put a leg down and I'm like, whoa, I'm tippy-toed on one side, you know, at almost 5'7" and 30-inch inseam with my little wiener dog legs. It's a long way to the ground, and if I'm on a trail, I can't reach it if I'm on the downhill side. So here's the Honda 450 RL. It's a 2025. I'm loving it. I'm up here, rode up here to the trails, gravel roads, pavement. It really, the bike looks like I've done a lot to it, but I really haven't done as much to it as it looks like. This is just a graphics kit from Throttle Jockey. I just leaving the same license plate thing on, same blinkers. I put a gold chain on it. I put some gold wheels on it from W Wheels, but didn't need that. Didn't change the performance at all. I like the black ones. So here's those hangers that I put on, those engine hangers, FCP here and then down there. Supposed to make this a little less rigid. Had Paul from EvoOregon.com and Forest Grove revalve my front and rear suspension. Have the same springs that came stock. That really softened the bike up. I like the headlight. The LED headlight's awesome. I like the handguards. I like the mirrors. I did add a little GPS. This thing's a bargain. This is a little Garmin Zumo XT, the $250 one on Amazon. That's a good bargain. It comes with the wires to tie it in, and this mount, a handlebar mount. I just think that's a bargain, and it has got me pointed in the right direction. I got this little deal from 12 O'Clock Labs. This is from Solo Racer Moto, this little thing to mount things. And it hides the wires up in here. I have Koso heated grips, Takomoto ECU and maps, Athena Get ECU, stock fuel tank, sub mount, Scott's steering dampener from BRP with the BRP mount. Here. That's what's cool about riding. I am running the aftermarket exhaust, or not aftermarket, but the Honda 450X exhaust. Oh, they're going to do special tests. That is not going to be fun. But yeah, that I know special tests. That isn't going to be fun on that, but they'll figure it out. The 450X exhaust and header, it bolts right on. You do have to bend the rear hanger on that comes with the exhaust for it to mount it, but it literally you just bend it with a needle nose. If you take the stock exhaust off, then you have to block off your air box and put a smog delete kit on there, so it's not injecting air into the engine and the exhaust through this little deal there where the block off plate goes, or else you'll get a lot of popping in your exhaust. So you have to kind of make a choice: block off kit and aftermarket exhaust, or even this is like basically off a dirt bike, so it's kind of fits into that aftermarket exhaust category, or run the stock exhaust. I found the stock exhaust fine. It worked great. I didn't find that it was underpowered with the stock exhaust. I like it quiet. I like that this is quiet. I would have went with one of the other aftermarket Yoshimura or some of those Graves, but I just didn't want more noise, because up here I have to take a lot of roads to get here, and I just didn't want to have it be real noisy. All right. Sweet. Look at that, they're riding. Oh, that's awesome. Little sportsman there. What a day. Everybody's up riding, having fun. That's what counts. Yeah, that's basically the things I've done to this. Takomoto seat, blue one, seat concept seat, the little 2x4, I thought it can't be that bad. I'll just run it, but it was bad. It hurt my bottom, but I broke my tailbone about a year ago, and that didn't help any. But even then, I think it would have hurt. Got the BRP chain guide, DID chain, Tusk rear guard here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much quad lock handlebar mount here with the vibration dampener. I think that's pretty much everything I've done. But stock, other than tires, I could run up here and ride. I think the big thing, and if I were going to put order of importance, these golden tires were a must for up here. And other than that, I think once I got tires on, I could rock and roll. So even the ECU did pretty good up here on the 2025. So. And I love the foot pegs. I'm not changing out the foot pegs. They're awesome. The OEM ones are good. And the OEM headlight's awesome. I love the looks of the bike. This is a keeper. I know some people don't like the 450 RL. I don't quite get it. I just think it needs a little help with the suspension to soften it up. But other than that, it is high. But I really like it. I'm going to keep it a long time. I like the reliability. And after 1,000 miles or almost 1,000 miles, I like it better than when I first got it. So, but again, I've been tweaking on it a little bit. And I like that process. I like tweaking on it to get what you want. And I think that's fair because any bike I've ever had, I've had to kind of work on it a little bit to get it kind of to where it was going to meet my needs, just because we're all different heights and weights and different uses. So after this time, I give it a thumbs up. Cons, there's so many pros. Cons, I guess maybe the fuel capacity. I did carry a little fuel today. I just stick it in my backpack. Height, it is high for a shorter guy, but I figure I'm riding most of the time, so I'm not worried about that. But when I do have to stop, if I'm in a technical section, maybe the weight, that 40 extra pounds over a dirt bike, but I can't really consider that a complete con because on the highway, that's kind of a plus. Keeps you from getting blown around and feels very comfortable on the highway. Yeah, I'm just really happy with it. I mean, I'll ride and see if I can think of some other pros and cons, but after almost 1,000 miles, I'm liking it actually more than when I first bought it. Oh, the handlebars were a little low when I first bought it. The stock with the sub mount, you get a little bit of a riser, and I like it with the riser. The bars were just a little low stock, but not bad. Not bad at all. All right, well, there you have it. Let's go ride a little more, and I'll try to think of anything else. Thanks for everybody for watching. Appreciate it, and hope this is really useful. This little charger, AC charger, or a USB port there. I did have this 12 o'clock labs. It gives, oh man, I have no idea what my odometer's doing. I'll have to look at that later. Maybe it's in kilometers or something. I like the engine temperature and the tach I kind of like, and the voltage, but I like what the odometer came stock from Honda. It has lots of useful information. I wouldn't have probably added this, except I liked having the engine temperature there, so I know if I'm getting hot. And this bike is up almost to my umbilicus or belly button. So right now I'm getting on, and I'm like, I'm gonna just get this bike rolling and keep it rolling. There we go. But it is high, which is fine if I'm just riding it, which is what I do 99% of the time. But if I were gonna do ultra technical stuff all day long, man, I would not. I couldn't do it. But this, I kind of know what I'm riding. I know what I'm getting into. There's some technical stuff here, but shouldn't require me to get off the bike. The stock gearing I'm happy with. I can usually get between first and second. I can get done what I need to get done. Yeah, it's definitely been widened out by the quads and stuff. That's kind of nice. So here, I like to just hit this, wheelie the front end, and then get it going again. I thought those guys were going to struggle with those bikes. But they're having fun anyway. That's what matters. Right on. Okay, yeah. So standing up through there, this bike feels really comfortable. See there, I needed to kind of get, now I'm in the rut. And you know, the stock tires would have done this because this isn't muddy, but when this is muddy, and it actually would have been dangerous to be up here with those, but they're a good compromise. Again, that's a good middle of the road tire. I see why Honda chose them. You could ride this, and you can ride pavement. There's a little downhill. Again, you can ride anything you want. Well, the quads are great. They actually kind of widen the trails out. They tear them up a little, but they kind of widen them out. So not all bad. And we're all here to share these things together. So I've seen a herd of elk here once. That was kind of fun. Okay, where do I need to go? I think I can go this way. Let's try this way. And that's what's nice. Here I am, gravel road, and this bike's gearing is really comfortable. 174 degrees, 176. We're running cool in the trails. It's about a 60-degree day up here, so it's kind of nice that this runs cool up here. I go through like these water bars and things where some suspension travel does you some good. That's the thing, is it feels really good off road. So that's why I'm not complaining about the height, because for what I'm doing with it, it's nice. I'd rather have the suspension travel. Like if somebody said, you want the travel, you want the suspension travel, or you want to make it easier to get on and off the bike, I'd be like, no, give me the travel. And yeah, I like having the travel. So you know, everything's about compromises. Now, if this were my commuter and I was going to be on and off the bike and going around town, and I was shorter like I am, I think they made a cut through here, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, buddy. So then maybe something a little easier to get on and off of, like the Honda low seat version, like a 300 or something would be a good choice, or just a regular 300 L, or another bike you're choosing. A little lower seat height. See, here I'm back to gravel, and just that suspension travel just eats this stuff up, eats it. Just a piece of cake. It goes right at home. So even though the suspension travel does make this bike a little higher for actually riding, for what it's intended for, it's a good thing. But again, if you're a shorter person and you're going around town, off and on the bike, maybe it would be a little bit of a struggle. Wow, what a day. Look at this. That's what's nice about riding. Look at this up here. I mean, who wouldn't want to do this? Come up here for an hour, ride home, and it's great. And then I'm going to go out to pavement just for a short jaunt, and then we'll be back on some trails. That's where the 450 RL shines. So here we are, out to a little pavement. Like a great supermoto bike. Okay, then we'll go to a gravel road again. Back to some gravel roads. Some trails up here. There we go. Get off on some trails, and that's what the 450 RL wants to do. These water bars, it just feels plush and soaks it up. You catch a little air and land, and you don't even really feel that interface between the ground and when you're in the air. Yeah, this is great. Ooh, a little G out there, but my suspension, how much of the travel did I use? Kind of curious, I'm going to stop. Oh, I didn't. I still had a few inches at the bottom. We're good. Kind of landed it weird. You can kind of weave through some of this stuff. Here's where I'm kind of between gears. First is low, second's a little high, but I don't know. Feather your clutch a little, it's fine. It's just where it gets really tight that I start trying to figure out my gear selection. Oh, almost lost my front end there. It was sliding. I was going down, and then it caught last second. So I'm glad for that. It re-gripped last second. Got off some of the loose stuff. I mean, that would be, when we're sharing the trails, it does get changed a little bit depending on what's running over it. Got some loose rock pushed off to the side, and it wasn't expecting that. And if I had fallen over, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. It wasn't going very fast. Got roots and ruts and all that stuff, and just able to kind of navigate the bike through here. Roots and stuff that are kind of nasty, so I think I'm just going to get a little speed and go for it here. I should have got more speed than what I have, and it did fine. But just kind of had to go for it though. And the bike's still running pretty cool. This is pretty technical through here. Again, just carrying speed. I mean, controlled speed, just keeping the bike rolling, not full on fast. There's difference between carrying momentum. That's the better way, keeping the wheels rolling. So not all out speed, like going fast, but keeping the bike rolling. That's more accurate. I do that, slipping the clutch. If I dump the clutch and did some of that, maybe the bike would stall. But I've just had really good luck with the Takomoto map being more stall resistant. I haven't put the flywheel on here yet. I might, but so far I don't have a real big drive to, not because I don't think it works. That stealthy flywheel weight. I just not putting it on because it's working good without it. I don't think it's a bad modification to do though. I'm not opposed to it or anything. A lot of guys say it helps, and if I started stalling this thing out all the time, I'm sure it'd be a good thing to do. But I figure if I'm up here riding this kind of stuff and I'm not stalling out unless I mess up, I'm just gonna leave it. But I think maybe some of the older bikes stalled easier. I don't really know. Still staying cool, about 188 degrees. A little uphill here with some gravel and rocks, and I don't know if I call these boulders really, but smacked one of the rocks right dead center. This is something. Still uphill, a bunch of those what they call baby heads. So they're not stacked all in a row, so they're not too bad. Okay, not bad. First gear. This is somewhat technical. Ooh, bunch of baby heads. Slipping the clutch, keeping the bike moving, keeping it moving, keep the momentum going. A lot of roots. Keeping the bike moving. Yep, keeping it moving. Keeping it moving. I'm gonna pick this line right there. Good. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was something. More rocks and ruts and roots. Need to keep the bike moving. Keep the bike moving, and it did it. It did a good job. Huh? Yeah. I mean, I'm sweating. I'm definitely using some skill, a little bit of skill anyway. but the bike's able to do it. I haven't gotten tied up in a ball anywhere. Would it be easier on a slightly lighter bike? Oh, probably. Could I go faster on a lighter bike? Probably. But I'm having fun. So I feel like the Honda 450 RL is a bike that can do a lot of things well. It actually does highway quite good. Does off-road stuff quite well. And so it does a lot of things well. But, you know, would a dedicated dirt bike be a little easier to handle and stuff like this? Well, yeah, of course. You got, you know, 40, 50 less pounds. But is it super awesome to be able to ride up here? Not trailer up, ride, go home, ride this home? Oh, yeah. Probably what I prefer a lot of the time. So, yeah, it's great. I mean, I can just feather right through these trails here, and I feel very comfortable. But when it does get technical, and if I lose my speed, I feel some of that weight. But like right now, I'm moving along, keeping the bike's momentum rolling through this stuff. I don't really think about it or feel it. It feels really good. Now, if I make a mistake, sometimes the weight magnifies that mistake. Then I notice it. It can be a little harder to correct if your weight gets thrown the wrong way, or the front end slips, starts to go. It can be a little harder to reel that back in, but that's where you realize, oh, I'm not on a dedicated lightweight dirt bike. But for, you know, the average rider, for what we're wanting to do a little bit of everything, the Honda 450 RL delivers that. And out of the box, you just put, you know, different tires on it, ride it like that. I wouldn't do anything else to it for a while. And then if you decide its suspension's great after playing with the just compression and rebound, leave it. If you need a little different, you know, valving or something, then change it. And what's cool is you can just kind of make it your own bike. I've enjoyed it. I feel like this is my bike now. It's set up for how I like it. I really enjoy it. And it does great for what I'm wanting to do. And it's a bike you shouldn't need to work on much. Oh, the oil change intervals. I haven't minded that at all. This bike's so easy to change oil on. It hasn't been a big issue for me. I know if you're going to do light adventure, you might have to be strategic with your oil changes. I think it's a 600-mile interval, but a lot of guys go 1,000, and it's been fine. So, and it's really easy to change oil, and it's like 1.2 quarts or something. So, I mean, it just isn't, I haven't found it a big deal, and it's so easy to do. But I'm used to riding dirt bikes, so, you know, it doesn't seem like a big deal from, you know, coming from that background. Because for off-road miles, 600 miles is quite a few miles, really. And if you stretch that out a little bit, not too bad. And I don't mind, I'll just stick with the recommended intervals, or probably even a little closer depending on how I'm riding. Yeah, what a nice day. So nice. Yeah, this bike just flows through these nice trails. I couldn't ask for anything better. Bike's just zipping right through here. Woo. Yep, see, I started to slip, and to catch it, it just is a little harder to catch it on this bike. All right, very nice. How could I forget the big pro of this bike? The power! The power! Yeah! Sorry. The power. How could you not like the power? And this is the easy map that I'm in right now. So it is nice. I do like having the power. on tap anytime I want it. Power! You just twist the throttle and there it is. So, and it's controllable. I mean, you just ride a little gentler in that throttle if you want to. So, yeah, that's a big pro. That's, you know, if you're like, why are you always riding this bike? I'm like, it's the power. I just love having that power on the highway, and I love having the power on the trails. I love the power. Now, stuff like this, can you use the power? No, you cannot. Horsepower doesn't matter much up here. Honestly, you're idling, you're coasting, you're trying to maintain traction. You know, the power is not the thing. Wow, I don't think anybody's really here at Skinner Flats today. Huh, wow, that surprised me. It's such an awesome day. But anyway, the power. And it's controllable power. Honda 450 RL. Here, where I'm at, I got pavement, I got trails, and I got gravel roads. I can ride any of it with this bike. I can do any of it. Right now, I've done a few trails. Kind of need to get home to take care of some things. But I'm going to take gravel roads home. And it's fun on these. So it can do that. And then you can go on pavement, and I'll roll this right into my garage after being on the highway. So that's the true benefit of the Honda. It does all those things and does them quite well, all but the most technical single track. And then you do start to feel the weight. So in a nutshell, what a great bike. 2 thumbs up from Oregon Moto John. I'd say this bike is good for everybody, all but maybe the beginner, or maybe someone that wants a little shorter bike. I mean, you could lower this bike though. People use lowering links and things like that. So there's ways to deal with that, but I'm not good enough to know what those ways are and to make any recommendations. I'm just some random Oregon Moto John guy on the internet, so don't listen to me about anything. But we do have fun with this channel, and it's great. I appreciate all of you out there watching. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody with the Honda 450 RL. I do have a video coming on how it differs from the 300L, which is a really good bike. It's just a different bike. This one just has the power. I know people put big bore kits on a 300L, and I bet you it really scoots with that. So, I mean, that would be really awesome. I'm not saying that's the wrong thing, but out of the box, this just has all that. All right, I'm talking long enough. This video is way too long anyway. Mine always tend to be too long because I'm having so much fun. And I hope you guys are well. Hope you're out there riding. If you ever catch me out here, say hello. Love to meet other riders. We're all out here just enjoying life, so definitely say hello. And we can do a little ride up here. In the meantime, keep riding. See where the road goes. Just keep your rubber down if you can, for the most part, at least one of the tires. And we'll catch you in the next video. Alright, take care everybody. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Sorry, this is where my videos end up too long. This is just so much fun. This thing's fun on gravel roads. And suddenly the height and the weight feel good. I don't even notice them anymore now that I'm moving faster. In fact, I like the height. It's a commanding position. I got great visibility. It'd be fun to take this into the city sometime, just to ride around on a dirt bike. But it's also kind of scary with all the people on their cell phones too, so maybe that's not a great idea. But this height of this bike is very commanding position. It feels really like I'm on a serious dirt bike ready to hit some triples, which I don't have the skill for, so I won't do that. How could I forget one of the best parts of the Honda 450 RL? The power! Power, power, power! I got the suspension softened up enough to where it's good on trails, but not really for wheelies. But you get it, the power. The power is a great asset of this bike. The roads. Oh yeah. The steering dampener, stabilizer, it's got some out. Feels real good. Feels towards this track. Feels stable. Back and forth over loose gravel, and it just, yeah, there's even a puddle. Feels good. Got this inside line, throttle, back across loose gravel, holds this track real nice. Yeah, that was fun. Well, and here's the thing, when I drive this on the highway, riding on the highway, I don't mind being on the highway. I think part of it is you start getting to fifth and especially sixth gear, and these gear ratios really open up, and it's just a nice bike to ride on the highway. You know, it seems odd that basically a 450X, you know, this is an RL, but it's kind of an X, 450X bike. It's great on the highway. I like the sixth gear. It feels like a true overdrive to me. I can get up to highway speeds, pop it into sixth, and definitely not bringing the bike's neck out. So here's fifth coming out of the corner. You're starting to rev out, 52, and then you put it into sixth.